Hey guys, this is Andy50k1, and today I'll be reviewing my Zelda Timeline. It's a good thing I wrote this down, because writing down in pure ink will make sense. Before I get onto this review here, I am a huge hardcore Zelda fan. I love the story, and ever since, I did some research on YouTube, I hear people's opinions, and I just came up with something with my own instincts. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. They made this book in Japan. I doubt that Koji wrote it. He is the one that directed the Zelda storylines, well, the games. But I'm not sure who he might hire to make the book. I don't believe it was written by Koji himself. I guess it was written someone else didn't know what they're doing, but let's go on to the timeline. So first off, at the beginning, A Link to the Past. And we have Oracle of Ages and Seasons. It doesn't matter, they're the same. It's just with, saving different goddesses, but in the story, you're actually saving both, I think. And then Link's Awakening, Zelda 1, and Zelda 2. Now, before you say, why is Skyward Sword not the first one? Well, hear me out for a moment, alright? Now, if you remember, the story about, at the intro, it did show the goddess Din, sorry for shaking the camera there, was actually saving all the people and put them in the skies from, well, if you remember in Zelda 2, Link does get killed by Ganondorf, so, and then he becomes the imprisoned. This is just my theory. This is just kind of closest to make sense as 95 to 97%. But anyways, Ganondorf was sealed away, known, or maybe known as Demise, and 1,000 years later, Skyward Sword picks up. And pretty much this takes place, Zelda's not the princess, as we all know, and pretty much Zelda was going missing. Zelda is missing by the Imprisoned, which is known as the one who killed Link in Zelda 2, which is he's called the Imprisoned. Changes his name to Demise at the end. Well, at the end he is Demise. Link defeats him, and later on he's reincarnated in the Ocarina of Time. And like thousands of years later, in the Ocarina of Time, of Time. Before the Link events, there was a great civil war going on, and Link's mother, went to the Kokiri Forest. Now, these might be related to the Shadow Link, because she was, being attacked by monsters and stuff, which I'll get to that like later on. The Great Deku Tree saw Link's mom, and the Great Deku Tree protected the small child, which is actually Link, and his mother died. And I think that Great Deku Tree, or however you want to pronounce the name, protected Link. And as he was, grown enough, he set off the journey to meet the you had to get the extra 2 stones, one in the Death Mountain, and the Jabba's belly, or how you want to say his name. And Zelda, well, you have pretty much all know the whole story. At the end, Ganondorf is being sealed away. Now first, let's go to the young Link. Before I move on, Zelda does send Link back to his childhood as his journey continues to find Navi when he released her in the Orchid of Time at the end. Now he's going to search for Navi, and he runs into Skull Kid. Now this kind of leads up very slow and carefully. Now the mask, Majora's Mask, is actually something from Twilight Princess, which I'll be getting there to in a moment. And it possessed Skull Kid, but Link saves him at the end. But no one knows where that mask comes from until you get to the stored part of Twilight Princess. Sorry about the noise upstairs. And it explains a lot more about the Twilight Princess. So I'm just saying this as what I know. The Majora's Mask thing came from, it was either left there on purpose or it was lost. And Link kills Ganondorf the second time in this lifespan from the Orchid Time to Twilight Princess. And as 100 years pass later on, the adult Link was also sent back as a child in the Wind Waker. But I'm guessing the adult Link knows everything, even though he's a kid from an adult to a child. But I guess that's why he was born, or maybe it's the Triforce of Courage. Anyways, his sister gets kidnapped in Wind Waker. And from all this time, Tetra was actually Princess Zelda in disguise. And Phantom Hourglass, at the end of Phantom Hourglass, in Wind Waker, Hyrule was flooded because they prayed the goddesses to flood Hyrule. But somehow, Ganondorf escaped from that. And he gets killed with the Master Sword tip onto his forehead. Now, back onto Phantom Hourglass. And like I said, all I can say about Phantom Hourglass is that at the end of Phantom Hourglass, they found a new Hyrule land, and that's where Spirit Tracks leads up to the new Hyrule land. And nothing much to say at the end here. So pretty much just kind of narrows it down. And that's my Zelda timeline. So what have we learned here so far? It does make sense that Link does get killed by Demise, who's also known as Ganon or Ganondorf. Let's say this guy has many names, like evil, reincarnation names, you know it. So it does make sense why in Zelda 2 Link dies, and it does take place that Skyward Sword does add up from the events at the end of Zelda 2. Link reincarnated for the first time in Skyward Sword, Orchid of Time into 2 at the end. Now let's go with the Minish Cap series. Minish Cap, Four Swords, and Four Swords Adventures. I'm guessing this kind of takes later, maybe? Or it might be canon. But I'll do some research on YouTube and give you the update. But till then, this is part 1. It might not be, but if I find more information, I'll let you know. This is Andy50K1.